Dear attendees, we'll begin about 2 minutes. Until then, please enjoy a slideshow and meet our beautiful students at Seoul campus. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the KIS Seoul Spring Virtual Open House. I'm very happy to say we have families from all over the world today tuning in to hear what makes KIS, and especially Seoul campus. I'm Danny Kwon, admissions team leader at KIS Seoul campus. Today, you will hear from our school director, Michelle Green, our Seoul campus principal, Jennifer Barge, our teachers and student ambassadors, Seoul campus PTO president, Yoonjun Lee, and me. Before we start, I'd like to share our goals for today's program. First, we welcome you to KI Seoul campus. And second, I'll let you to meet KI Seoul campus, then go over the admissions, and lastly, answer your questions as much as possible by the end of this program. Finally, before we begin, if you'd like to see Korean translation, please enable the chat function in this Zoom. If you have any questions that will be answered personally, please do so in the Q&A tab. This option will also stay open following today's program. Now, please welcome our student ambassadors who will guide us through our program today.
Hi, I'm Angelina, and I'm a fifth grader. I've been at KIS Seoul campus since I was in PK. My favorite thing about our school is that it's a small school, but it has a family environment.
Hi, I am Gio, and I'm in grade 5. I have been at KIS Seoul campus since I was in grade 3, and I was an ESOL student when I first started. My favorite thing about our school is that it feels like a small school, but also like a big school. We have lots and lots of opportunities here.
I'm Riley. This is my first year at KIS Seoul campus. I also have a brother who is a student here. My favorite thing about our school is that there are people from many different places in the world.
And now I would like to introduce the school director, Miss Crew, who will talk about our core values and our future.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Angelina, Gio, and Riley. We appreciate your help serving as student ambassadors this morning and look forward to hearing from you more later. I'm Michelle Quirin, School Director at KIS, and I'm excited to give you an overview today and share the mission of KIS. That is to share a passion for learning with our students, to provide students with the competence, confidence, initiative, creativity necessary for success in the global community. We strive to reach that by aligning all of our efforts with the core values of KIS. First and foremost, we want to be sure we're developing global mindedness and a sense of global citizenship and responsibility in our students. Having the opportunity to work with classmates and teachers from around the world helps to develop an awareness of different perspectives and ways to work together, even though we may see things from a different lens. We also strive to work on adaptability at all times. We know that the world is continually changing and growing, and we need students to recognize, and ourselves as educators, the current context to solve authentic problems and be ready to meet the needs as they currently exist. Our students develop that confidence and sense of empowerment by being engaged in applied learning and authentic problem solving at all times. We also find that balance in life is extremely important, and our robust co-curricular activities provide students with lots of opportunity to explore new interests, to test their boundaries a bit, and find out all the things that they really enjoy about learning and ways to apply learning through our co-curricular program. And of course, in all things, we want members of our community to act with integrity, to make ethical decisions, and to understand how our learning and the decisions we make can have a ripple effect on others, and to do that with great responsibility. We're fortunate at KIS to have teachers from all around the world. We are able to recruit top faculty members that all have valid certification and past years of experience. Over 70% of our faculty have advanced degrees and over 10 years teaching experience among our faculty. We also offer robust professional development and opportunities for collaboration. So not only do we hire exceptional teachers, but we continue to grow as a community of learners ourselves to meet the future needs of our students. The majority of our teachers do come to us from North America, with a vast majority being passport holders in the United States and Canada, but we also have teachers from several other countries around the world, as you can see featured here: Australia, China, South Korea, Switzerland, and many other countries. At this time, I'll turn things back to our student ambassadors, and Angelina, Gio, and Riley will talk to you more about our vision for KIS, and that is to empower students to design the future.
Our school vision is design your future. This means find what you're interested in. It also means that you can dream and design your future at KIS and work towards it.
I've always loved animals, and I was able to make a presentation about class pets and get it approved by the principal. Now grade 5 is a pilot class for the class pet project. At our school, we have a chance to have ideas and make things better.
Let's talk about some other things that make our school interesting, like our after-school clubs and Saturday events.
Let's talk about one of my favorite things at school, after school clubs. And some of my favorite are German Sports Club, Winter Maniacs Math Club, and Film Club.
Seoul campus offers 20 after-school clubs per 10-week session. We have two 10-week ASC sessions per year, one in the fall and one in the spring. One of my favorite clubs include drama club and choir. I was in two school musicals, Annie and Aladdin.
We also have Saturday events like kickball and gaga ball, hiking, cross country, and orienteering. In the summer, we have the summer program.
KIS Seoul campus offers a 4-week summer program for the students, and it is really fun for the students.
Summer program is fun. You can make new friends from different grades.
Our school integrates science, technology, engineering, arts, and math into our learning. In grade 4, we had a TDU about sustainability. We learned a lot about global warming, air pollution, and climate change. And we did research on these topics. We used what we learned in science in the homeroom.
We have lots of services available for students, such as ESOL for students still learning English, reading support, and math support. I've seen many of my friends learn English really fast in the ESOL program.
I was an ESOL student. We play English games, and I got to meet other friends from other grades.
We have many supports for students to help everyone learn and grow. KIS students get to develop their passions and talents. And when we graduate, we go to many universities. These are some of them.
Thank you, student ambassadors. Now, please welcome our Seoul campus principal, Ms. Jennifer.
Good morning, parents. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you, student ambassadors, for sharing your experience at KIS Seoul campus. Our curriculum and our teaching approach here are guided by 5 learning principles, and I'd like to share those with you today. The first learning principle is that learning is nurtured in a safe and supportive environment. So the focus here is really about relationships. We know and studies show that feeling safe and supported at school is key to any learner's success. So you can't learn to your optimum ability if you don't feel first, safe, comfortable, and valued. And so our focus on relationships is not just for fun, but it's actually very research-based and very core to what we do here. Our second learning principle is that learning is purposeful and relevant. And here we have our experiential education program. So that includes some overnight trips for students in grades 4 to 5, as well as everyday outdoor activities for all of our students through PE class or through time on the playground. And this prepares students to use what they've learned in the classroom and apply it to the real world. Our third learning principle is that learning is personalized. And so here we have a focus on project-based learning. So our teachers use what they've gained from our inquiry-based curriculum and find different ways to challenge students to show what they think, show what they know, and show what they're able to do. Students are encouraged to take risks in their learning and be supported by our teaching staff and achieve their own personal learning goals. Students work on projects within the curriculum in groups as well as individually to learn more about our topics of study. Our fourth learning principle is that learning is informed by assessments, addressing standards and benchmarks. So we have a true student-centered approach. So our teachers develop transdisciplinary units that help students to research and get excited about learning. And these units are based on the US Common Core standards and benchmarks, which provide the basis for our curriculum. Teachers give students many assessment opportunities to show what they're able to do and also show what they're curious about learning. And teachers use these assessments to determine the best learning track and learning journey for each individual child. And our fifth learning principle is that learning results in the transfer of knowledge and skills to a variety of meaningful contexts. So this is where our applied learning piece comes in. So that's the goal for our curriculum, not just for students to learn in the context of the classroom, which is wonderful, but also to apply that learning to the real world and take the skills and concepts and knowledge that they've gained in the classroom to solve or propose solutions to local and global problems. So this is our applied learning approach. See a problem, propose a solution, try it out, and then assess the outcome of that. Now I would like to introduce our campus to you through a small slideshow so you can see our classrooms and our teachers. Please enjoy. We hope you enjoyed seeing a bit of our campus, and we have more videos that will give you some insight into our school curriculum and campus on our Seoul Campus YouTube channel. So please feel free to check that out. Now I'd like you to welcome Ms. Sames, our Student Support Services lead, who will give us some information about our Student Support Services program here at KIS Seoul Campus.
Good morning. Thank you, Ms. Jennifer, for the introduction. And I'm so excited to share with families today about our Student Support Services program. Our program has taken a tiered model, a tiered approach that we call multi-tiered systems of support, which includes special education, differentiated education, English for speakers of other languages or ESOL, and gifted education. We primarily give these services through a program that we called ICE. ICE stands for Interventions, Connections, and Enrichment. This is a universal program that all of our students get to access for at least 3 blocks a week, where all students receive differentiated literacy support based on their English proficiency level or their reading and writing level. So, we also have additional support blocks for children with special needs or those that may need extra social emotional support, may have sensory needs or academic needs. And then students with special needs or suspected disabilities can receive an evaluation from our school psychologist who will visit our campus from Ponyo campus. We also offer speech language pathology services through an outside provider. We let the speech pathologist come onto our campus to collaborate with our teachers and our staff and service children while they're at school, which provides convenience and support for families. We have a very big English for Speakers of Other Languages program, which allows us to service children on different levels of English proficiency. So our students that are basic beginners learning English join our newcomers group and receive daily differentiated support in the form of pullouts or co-teaching. And then we also have our students that are emerging English speakers who have acquired basic beginner skills but need academic language support. We also provide daily interventions for all of these students. KIS provides counseling services. We have an on-site counselor who will provide group lessons, universal support, and also offers group counseling services and individual counseling services. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Sames, for that great information. Now I'd like to welcome Mr. Jerome Geronimo, our grade 2 teacher, who will share with us some information about our approach to mathematics at KIS Seoul campus. Welcome, Mr. Jerome.
Thank you, Ms. Jennifer. Good morning, everybody. My name is Jerome Geronimo, and I'm the grade 2 homeroom teacher here at Seoul campus. I'm going to give you a brief overview of our math program here at Seoul campus. We follow the Common Core standards from the United States. And the main program that we use is Eureka, which is the most widely used math program in the United States. However, Eureka only supplements the other developmentally appropriate activities that, that we do to strengthen mathematical understanding in children. We teach in a holistic way, and we look at the whole child using research-based methods on how kids learn math best, using manipulatives, games, focusing on different strategies and having the students come up with their own strategies in order to solve problems to deepen their understanding. This is not a one-size-fits-all program, and it's very differentiated. We try to integrate reading, writing, and social studies into math as much as we can in order to improve their conceptual understanding of the big ideas, the hows, the whys, and the whens of solid math problems so that they can apply their understanding and knowledge in real life. In addition, we focus on fluency as a foundation for successful problem solving in math. And altogether, we strive to encourage students to be math thinkers who can make sense of the world around them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jerome. From math, we now move on to our approach to transdisciplinarity presented by our grade 5 teacher, Mr. Derek Marshall.
Hello, parents. Thank you for joining us this morning or this evening, depending on where you are. We really appreciate you spending your time with us to learn more about KIS. My name is Derek Marshall, and I am the homeroom teacher for grade 5. And today I'd like to talk to you about something that I think really differentiates KIS from other schools, and that is our approach to transdisciplinarity. So at KIS, every single grade level has 3 transdisciplinary projects a year. 1 transdisciplinary project per trimester. Now, the transdisciplinary projects, they focus on a big idea, transdisciplinary concepts, and students use their learning from other subjects to understand this big idea or these transdisciplinary concepts. So for example, in grade 5, in trimester 1, we focused on water scarcity as our big idea. And for example, we followed the Common Core standards for ELA. And in the process of looking at water scarcity, students participated in discussions. Students wrote uh, narrative narrative papers about the experience that someone might go through if they were experiencing water scarcity. And additionally, students looked at a novel study of A Long Walk to Water to help practice their reading comprehension, their fluency, and also build their empathy as a student. In addition to our transdisciplinary unit projects, in grade 5, we have a new initiative called the Capstone Project. The Capstone Project is a culmination of student learning in elementary school. Students identify a global issue that they are passionate about, that they are interested in, and they think that matters. After they've identified that global issue, then they go through the process of examining that issue, learning more about that issue, and starting to think about solutions to that global issue. For grade 5, our capstone project this year is focused on social entrepreneurship as a way to solve global issues. So in the process of their capstone project, students use the inquiry cycle to independently dive into this issue and find solutions to this issue. Additionally, students apply global proficiency skills that they have practiced throughout the school year to help guide their inquiry cycle. So for example, students are becoming collaborators, students are being self-directed, students are being creative thinkers, and lastly, students are being quality producers. At the end of our capstone project, students present their learning to our KIS community and respond to questions that other students in our KIS community and parents have about their issue. So these are, again, some of the things that I think really differentiates KIS from other schools. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Marshall. And now I'd like to welcome our JK teacher and ECE lead, Ms. Rachel McMillan, who will share some information about our early childhood program here at KIS Seoul campus.
Thank you, Ms. Jennifer. Hi all, I'm Ms. Rachel and I'm the JK teacher and the ECE, which is Early Childhood Education lead teacher. So like the rest of the student body, our youngest learners do follow transdisciplinary units and are concept-based in learning. What's different in the ECE is that we follow the Reggio Emilia approach. This is a holistic approach that is student-centered and focuses on hands-on learning. We have a strong focus on relationships within the learning community, home to school connections, and we consider the environment as a third teacher. Our program focuses on developing independence and students being active contributors in the classroom as we incorporate students' interest and inquiries back into the classroom learning. We are a play-based program, and that does not mean that we just play all day, but that means that we incorporate play into the learning, or we deliver lessons through inquiry, exploration, or through play. We do consider that play is the most important element in all children's learning, especially in the early years, because play engages all areas of development: cognitive, physical, language, and social emotional. Through play, all children can access the learning because it allows for student choice, student voice, and for individual developmental needs to be met. Like the rest of the school, the early years program children do go to specialist classes. They go to art and design, science and technology once a rotation. All students at KIS have 2 Korean classes per rotation. In the ECE students, they have PE and music 3 times to support their further development. And ECE students also go to the library either every day or every other day to borrow books or to listen to a story. We follow the school's main schedule, but we have made sure that the schedule is developmentally appropriate for our young children. Our daily schedule is a balance of student exploration and direct learning times. And all direct learning times are done before lunch when the young children are fresh and are ready to learn. We have 2 snack times and lunch times, or 1 lunchtime a day, and these are still considered learning time. So homeroom teachers do spend this time with them. We also include a rest time, which we know that research is best says that children do need a rest time. We incorporate toilet breaks into our daily schedule. Here is an overview of what the schedule looks like throughout the day, the routines. We have exploration in the morning and we have a morning meeting. We have a snack time, either in or outdoor recess, depending on, of course, the weather and the air quality. And students also go to 1 or 2 specials blocks a day. We have guide and inquiry centers, circle time, lunchtime, in or outdoor recess once again, rest time, afternoon snack, and we have another round of guided inquiry centers. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Ms. Rachel. And last but not least, I would like to welcome now Ms. Yoonjin Lee, our Parent-Teacher Organization President, who will share her perspective on why she chose KIS Seoul Campus for her 2 children. Welcome, Ms. Lee.
Hello, my name is Yoonjin, and I am happy to share with you as to why I chose KIS Seoul. I'm sure most of you are at the stage where you are considering which school to choose. So you're asking around, doing some research, meeting with school ambassadors, and guess what? Every school seems great one way or another, and as parents, you feel like you're back at square one. And trust me, I've actually been there 3 times too. So currently I have 3 children at KIS, one in high school who is now in the 10th grade at the Pangyo campus, one in the 4th grade, and the youngest in the 1st grade here. And they all started 1st grade here. Well, this is my 10th year at KIS. Just because my oldest attended KIS doesn't mean that their siblings would automatically follow. In fact, it is easier, but not always. Especially because for us, by the time our second child started 1st grade, our eldest had moved on to middle school. So there really was no point in sending him here unless there were some exceptional good reasons. And so now you're probably thinking there must be good reasons why she chose KIS. So when the time came, I briefly considered sending him to the Pangyo campus where his sister is, or trying out a new school altogether. But that didn't last long because, I mean, of course, I cannot compare how our school is to other schools because I haven't been there. But the important thing is that I was reminded of the positive things here at KIS, and those positive things were which drove me to choose the school, as I knew what my child will be receiving here. To me, every teacher knowing every student on a personal level is the best thing you can ask for the school to do. Years ago, I remember my oldest child saying that she enjoyed the fact that every teacher or principal on duty that day would greet her by name when she stepped off the bus. Good morning, Kaylee. Good morning, Joshua. Hi, Riley. Once she even said, how can the principal know each and every one of us by face and name? I mean, doesn't the principal get tired saying good morning or hi like millions of times every morning? And of course, this is exaggerated. And what my 2nd grade daughter was saying there years ago. And you probably know that this doesn't happen everywhere. And the reason this is possible is because we are a small school and teachers and even admin staff cannot help but to know each student on an individual basis. And this is very different from being in a setting where you run into hundreds of students every day. Secondly, the school promotes a lot of hands-on activities. Because the campus tailors specifically to early childhood education, students have the benefit of having hands-on opportunities to use resources to apply what they have learned in the classroom. For example, just the other day, I was looking through my youngest kid's schoolwork, And in design class, she had made a musical instrument which kind of looked like a ukulele out of recycled materials connected to an interface with a code that they wrote through a program. Of course, this probably took a few class hours, but my husband and I were saying, how innovative is this? It was actually working. Then my fourth grade son must have learned about the brain and how neurons transfer information to the brain in science class. And for the students to understand this concept, they were literally playing tag in the multi-purpose room to have the gain the understanding of the neuron transfer and whatnot. Now, the reason why our teachers can actually have the students apply their learning is because we are a small school where class topics can be synchronized and collaborated with teachers. And the school has classroom and resources where things like these can actually be done and not hard to get because there aren't like 20 other classes who are waiting to use them. And also because we are a small school, we have the benefit of having several weekend school-wide events every semester, like hiking, soccer days, barbecue days, where all students are invited to attend. And pre-corona, even parents were invited to create bonding with their children in a school setting while even having the opportunity to mingle with fellow parents. This doesn't mean that we don't enjoy many of what bigger schools have. We have them, but just in a smaller, more personalized setting, which is perfect for younger age students. In fact, we take advantage of school-wide academic events such as Battle of the Books, sports events like jamborees, international days, and sometimes, occasionally, we even have them with the Pangyo campus. Another example of this is after-school clubs. I mean, I know many schools have after-school clubs too, but there is a limit as to the availability of teachers and number of students who want to attend but can't because lack of space or whatnot. Here, the teachers and staff try to create enough clubs so that most students can be accommodated to some sort of after-school club according to their interests. And speaking of which, pre-corona, we had about 2 musical after-school clubs where almost half of the student body who signed up were part of the prop acting, singing, designing, and of course, all the teachers and staff put in a lot of hours after school and weekends too. And the parents had the occasion to actually see this as an end of the year performance. And the show was phenomenal. And the parents were able to see the effort, the time, the practice, and the unity that made this all possible. And I know I'm going on and on and on, but last but not the least, personally, the ESOL program here is outstanding. I'm not sure whether any of your children may need English support, but for my kids, they needed a bit more support. And each of their ESOL teachers has been very attentive, patient, and supporting. Never to let the kids down for lack of English speaking or reading skills. And for me, that is very important in the process of building self-esteem and giving them the courage to learn and adapt to an English environment. I mean, I can go on and on and on, but these are just a few of the things which I consider very important when I chose this school. But most importantly, you can probably expect the care and attention every student will get from the teachers, whether in academics or extracurricular activities, will definitely be more than what you would expect. I'm afraid that I took away too much time, but I hope my input will be helpful in your decision-making process. If you have any questions, please let me know and hope to see you in the fall. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Lee. Very, very helpful for parents to hear your perspective. Okay, and now we'll move on to our frequently asked questions. So these are the questions that our admissions office often receives, and so we'd like to answer them here for you today. Firstly, parents often ask, what are your school start and end dates? And so we follow a typically North American school calendar. So school starts in around August, mid-August, and then we have the last day of school in mid-June every year. Our students and teachers come from a variety of countries. In our school, we currently have 139 students enrolled, and we have over 16 different nations represented in that student body. And that's just passport countries, 16 different passport countries. But if you look at, a passport isn't the only thing that identifies you and your background. And so with our student body, they could speak a number of up to 9 different languages in our school community as well. FAQ number 3, what are your class sizes here? So our maximum class size differs a little bit depending on if we're thinking about early years children or elementary age children. So for early years in PK and JK, the maximum class size in PK, pre-kindergarten, for our 3-year-olds is 15. And the maximum class size in JK, junior kindergarten, for our 4-year-olds is 16. Kindergarten maximum class size is 18 students. And so all of those classes have a homeroom teacher plus a teaching assistant. And our teaching assistants are bilingual or trilingual. So they all speak English fluently. They all speak Korean fluently. Actually, all of our teaching assistants have bachelor's degrees in education, and many of them have teaching experience as well. And then some of our TAs speak other languages, including Japanese. When we get to grades 1 to 5, our maximum class size is 20 students. And in grades 1, we have also a teaching assistant. Our regular school day has a general flow to it. And so we start the day at 8:25. Students go to their classroom, they have a morning meeting, and then they'll have some learning time and then a snack. Everyone has a snack around 9:15, and then recess as well. Some more learning, and then lunchtime around noon, as well as a recess. And then for younger children, they have a second snack in the afternoon because they get hungry. And then the school day is done at 3 o'clock. When we have our after school clubs program available, which is 10 weeks in the fall and 10 weeks in the spring, students are done at school at around 4:20. And then we have another bus service to take students home. So the subjects that we offer and additional languages. So we have several different specialist subjects on offer here. So you can see an example of our rotating schedule. We follow a 6-day rotating schedule. We have an A day through F day is what we call it. And what that rotating schedule does is it helps your child equally access all subjects. So if some schools have a schedule that may be based on the days of the week, like on Monday we do this and Tuesday we do that, if you have school holidays or vacations that typically have a Monday and a Friday off, for example, then they will continually be missing those classes if you follow the weekday schedule. So the rotating schedule allows an equal number and opportunity to access all classes on offer. Our core subjects include language arts, reading and writing, and we follow the Columbia Teachers College program called Readers Workshop and Writers Workshop. So that's very, very well known in the education world. And that's how we approach literacy. We have math and social studies as our core subjects. And our specialist subjects, we have them listed here, include music, art, science, design, technology, physical education, Korean, Chinese, library. And so for Chinese, that starts in kindergarten. Children start learning the Chinese language, but everyone takes Korean class from pre-K all the way up to grade 5. And they have Korean twice per week. And for library, we have a program called Book a Day, which is so great. Our library has over 10,000 books. So imagine 10,000 books for 139 students. So that chances are your child's favorite books are there, and then some other wonderful books that they could get into are there as well. For our younger students, they have the opportunity to do Book a Day. So every day they go to the library, they visit, and they get to bring back their book from the night before and choose a new one. And so that gives our families access to many, many different titles in English that may not be easily readily available in the local market. And then we also have books in Korean, Chinese, Japanese, and Arabic available as well if children wish to take out a book in their home language or the home language of their friends. Number 6, after school activities and sports. So Ms. Lee referenced that, as well as our student ambassadors. we have a wonderful program of after school clubs available. So for the 10 weeks in the fall and 10 weeks in the spring, we have well over 20 clubs. Sometimes it's up to 25 different clubs available. And as Miss Lee mentioned, the fact that we're a small school means your child can choose lots of different clubs and be able to access it. So it won't fill up because we make it so that every child has as many opportunities to join a club as possible. Those are run by our teachers and they can include, there's a list here, soccer, Gaelic football, tennis, fencing, hiking, watercolor, chess coding, lots of different activities, mindfulness. Battle of the Books is a loved after school club for our students in grades 3 to 5. It offers them a competitive reading club where they will compete at the end with other international schools. So we're actually going to have our Battle of the Books competition this weekend. Our clubs are available until around 4:15 from Tuesday to Friday. And if your child is a bus child, we do offer an additional bus service at 4:15 for no additional fee. So more on the bus, FAQ number 7. Yes, we do offer bus transportation to many places around the city. And so when you're applying, you can ask and make sure that our bus route serves your area, but it will serve most areas in the city. And what we do offer is a door-to-door bus service, meaning that the bus will stop very, very close to your apartment complex, so your child can have easy access to get on the bus. And that's really important, especially for our younger students. Regarding a school uniform, we don't have a school uniform. Lots of children like that. The only uniform that we do have is for PE class, for physical education. And so your child will have 2 or 3 days a week for PE. And we ask that they wear the KIS PE kit. And so we sell that in our school store. So it's easily available. We do have a cafeteria program here. Actually, our cafeteria is wonderful. Just yesterday when I went to the cafeteria, it reminded me of how great it is, where kids were saying, "Oh, Miss Jennifer, I loved the pasta. I never had pasta with meatballs before." These are the kinds of things that we hear often in our cafeteria. So we work with a food provider called Kids Meal, and their specialty is early years and elementary schools all around the city. And so they know how to make food appealing for younger children. And they have a focus on safety for our younger children. If they're eating grapes, those are cut into quarters. They have the food where if it's pasta, the sauce is on the side, because some children don't like the sauce mixed into their pasta and some do. And so they can take care of all of that on their cafeteria food tray. Our lunch provider also provides a snack service. So for another fee beyond the lunch fee, you can get a snack for your child as well. So that means you can send them to school and not have to worry about packing a lunchbox. Our school cafeteria provider tries to focus on organic, or at the very least non-GMO food products. So it's very healthy. It's all cooked on site in our kitchen. And then we have a very new cafeteria on the 5th floor where our children enjoy their lunch. Okay, FAQ number 10. After grade 5, what happens? Great question. So our grade 5 students have priority acceptance to the grade 6 middle school program at our Pangyo campus, which is about 40 minutes away from our school, 30 to 40 minutes. And so it's really a seamless transition from grade 5 here into the middle school in grade 6. And starting in the 5th grade year, we do lots of different activities and transition points for the students to meet the middle school principal, meet the middle school counselor. So we've had 5 or 6 different times where students have had presentations with our middle school friends. And then they do have a trial day in the middle school at the end of grade 5. So they know how to get around, what classes look like, and they're assigned a buddy. So that's really wonderful that they're very well supported to transition to the middle school. And then number 11, I'm going to ask Miss Danny to answer that. Yes, we do have a waiting list, and she can explain more about that.
Great. Thank you, Jennifer, and all presenters so far. The answer for the question number 11, do you have a wait list, is yes. Currently, we do have a wait list in kindergarten, grade 1, and grade 5 for the 21-22 school year. If a seat becomes available by this summer or in the middle of school year, we will contact the accepted students who have been on the wait list. Then let's go over the admissions for details in order of who, what, when, and how. The first thing to know is who is eligible to apply to KIS. So our student body is made up of two major categories. The majority of our student body is students with foreign parents. It means at least one parent holds a foreign passport only. This can make up 70% of each grade. Currently at KIS Seoul, students from 18 different countries are enrolled and made a very diverse population. The second category is 3 years overseas stay. So this exactly means the student has spent at least 3 years, total of 1,595 days outside of Korea. Parents both hold Korean citizenship. This makes up 30% of most grades, and our applicant pool very competitive from grade 5 in particular. The next things to know is what? We operate on a rolling admissions basis. Our 21-22 application has been live since December 1st. Our application can be found at kiskr.openapply.com. This is very user-friendly. You can easily find the sites through our website. Most of applicants from abroad are available to complete the entire application process remotely, and also all documents are uploadable. At KIS, we have one homeroom per grade level for most grades. As I mentioned before, in kindergarten, grade 1 and grade 5 levels for the 21-22 school year, we have a wait list. The entire evaluation process typically takes 5 to 10 business days after the admissions exams and interview. Application results will be communicated via email. The next slide is showing the diagram, the flow of the admission process. So we evaluate students based on their performance in the following 4 categories. The first one is transcripts or reports cards. So each elementary student is required to submit their current and plus previous 2 years reports cards when relevant. Any available school reports for PK to kindergarten will be preferred to be submitted, but not mandatory. And the second thing is letter of recommendation from your child's homeroom teacher. So it must be submitted from a recent homeroom teacher of your child through the application site. And the third thing is about standardized test results. So grade 2 to grade 5 applicants are required to submit recent certain standardized test scores. And last one is about KIS interview and testing. In principle, we conduct a face-to-face assessment in English in order to ensure that your child will be successful when enrolled at KIS. However, all interviews have been offered virtually since the 2021 school year, which is last year, due to the pandemic. For PK to grade 1 applicants, a simple assessment during the virtual interview will be conducted to determine their readiness for school. For grade 2 to 5 applicants without standardized testing results and transferring from non-international schools in Korea will be asked to take an assessment test at KIS. Great. The next things to know is how to connect with us. Our goal is that in the admissions office is to be as helpful as we can during these challenging times. We are available most days via email, phone, and Zoom. Currently, visit to campus is up to social distancing level and the number of COVID-19 cases. As all students at KIS Seoul campus attend the school these days, we are very carefully to open our campus to visitors. but we will welcome you to visit us if the social level of distancing level goes down, although only when students are not present at campus. The KI Seoul website offers a tremendous amount of helpful information. Please visit the admissions page and the virtual open house section to watch the videos and to hear voices from our teachers and students. Our office is to help, so just let us know how we can help you and your family and see how KIS can help design your future. For further questions, we will keep the Q&A tab for the next several minutes. So please feel free to ask us through the function in the Zoom if you have any further questions or concerns. You can also send an email to us at eyinfo@kis.or.kr after this event for a personal follow-up. Thank you for being with us until now, and it's time to round off today's event. Finally, at the event end of this program, you will receive a survey. So please kindly complete so we can continue to improve. Again, thank you so much for attending 2021 KI Seoul Spring Virtual Open House, and we look forward to meeting you all at our campus this summer. Bye.